when you were getting into Formula One, who was your idol back then? Who inspired you to get into
Well, I always admired Alain Prost because he was very efficient. He won a lot of Grand Prix. I felt he was a sporting driver. There's no denying that Ayrton Senna was probably a bigger talent, but he had quite a bit of controversy surrounding him. And I think that you've got to follow the rules. Otherwise, where's the honour and the victory?
You stepped into the Williams seat after Senna's tragic demise. Was that a baptism by fire?
The fact that I was testing for the team made it a lot easier. So I knew the people, and it was a sort of seamless transition from tester to racer. But the realization that someone as great as Ayrton could be killed in the car that I was about to race, it did cross my mind that Formula One was a dangerous sport. But I just tried to do my best, and it led to a full-time drive.
Your first victory for Williams, that must have felt very special, right?
It did. It was Estoril, 1995. A very proud moment when I crossed the start-finish line, and there was a Scottish flag waving across the podium. My parents were there, and that's when I really felt like I belonged in Formula One.
You then moved to McLaren along with Mika Häkkinen. The team transformed into a championship-winning team. But you had 13 victories at McLaren. You could have done something more. On hindsight, do you look back with regrets?
Yeah, I think that at the beginning of my career was a right foot braker, and it took me a while to develop into a left foot braker, and I think it's a much more efficient way to drive. And I think that cost me some performance at the beginning of my McLaren career. Mika was a great champion, there's no question, but I'm proud to have been able to beat him on occasions. I sit here with 13 victories, but there's a couple of times I moved over, and then he picked up the victory instead of me.
So that race at Australia, when you moved over and let Mika win, do you think that was a turning point, or would you have won the championship that year? Because that was the first race of the year.
Difficult to say if I would have won the championship, but it definitely cost me. It changed the perception in the public eye. It gave Mika a points advantage. It was tough to do, but it was what I was told to do by the team. And team orders has been a part of Formula One since the very beginning of the history of our sport.
And a lot of people say that you had the race pace, but you didn't have the pace in qualifying. Yeah. Is that a fact?
Yeah, I always concentrated more on getting a good race car, and it meant that I compromised a little bit my qualifying performance, and that made it difficult. But the points came on a race day. The points didn't come in qualifying, but maybe I concentrated too much on race pace.
When you moved to Red Bull, the immediate reaction we saw, the fans saw, was that you started growing a hair, you sprouted a beard. Were you relieved to be freed from the shackles of McLaren, or were you just getting out of your shell? What was it?
McLaren was very regimented, and we're all clean-shaven and well behaved. And Red Bull gave me the opportunity to just relax and enjoy the racing. And I still took it very seriously, but I didn't worry if I didn't shave, when I would never have turned up unshaven for a McLaren function.
And your first victory with Red Bull, that was at home at Monaco, must have felt very special.
Yeah, to be on the podium with Red Bull, with the Superman logo on the car, it was a great feeling. Monaco's an incredible track. It's been my home since 1995, and it's the ultimate challenge for a driver. So to deliver the podium for them there is a proud time.
What was your best race ever?
Maybe my second win in Monaco was a great race. Magny-Cours 2000, when I passed Michael and gave him a little wave from the car. That was a real fighting drive. The ones where I had Michael and Mika on the podium, they're the ones I'm proud, because you really had to beat good guys to win.
Yeah, you had a ringside seat to one of the greatest rivalries of our current generation, Mika and Michael. Over a single lap, who do you think had the ultimate pace?
I think Mika was quicker on a single lap, but I think that Michael was more consistent over a race.
Yeah, so as a racing driver, as an all-time great, you would put Michael above Mika?
If you could have those two guys in your racing team, you would have an incredible race team. But Michael redefined Formula One. He brought a different level of fitness and commitment to the sport.
You also had a ringside seat to the new generation, Alonso, Rosberg, Kubica. Who do you think among these, Hamilton also, who do you think among these will really take over from Michael as the defining driver of the generation?
Well, I think Hamilton has the opportunity. I think Alonso has already won 2 world championships. Sebastian Vettel clearly is extremely talented. But I think it'll be difficult for anyone to win 7 championships like Michael did, because I think the sport is just too close now.
So who do you think is the best amongst the current crop?
I think Alonso is exceptional. I think Vettel is an extremely talented driver, but he's still maturing, he's still improving. Obviously Hamilton is incredibly strong as well.